I have nothing against any cab driver. I mean, I have a good relationship with them. But when it comes to what we have to do as officers, we're going to carry that out.
It's been the most talked about subject in recent weeks, and the controversy is seemingly endless as every individual tangled in the 14 suspended taxi drivers' contention against the Road Safety Department fight to bring their side of the story to the limelight. Last week, News 4 learned that Minister of Public Works Honorable Samuel Bean, acting within his authority, overturned the decision made by Director of Road Safety Richard Garland, who suspended the drivers for 3 months. His solution was effective Thursday, July 9th, to put the drivers back to work on a probationary period in which their conduct must remain favorable or else. The swift investigation and actions carried out by the minister spawned from the June 18th protest of the taxi drivers who went on strike, refusing to provide transport for arriving guests. This after one cab driver was asked to desist from operating by Traffic Officer Billy Joe Williams due to breaching vehicle inspection regulations.
We have a lot of matters that normally takes place out there, normally that behind the camera seems to be dealt with. I wish that it could have been easier, but at that time I know that the procedures were right then, and with Mr. Williams, he knew that he had to do the inspection. So I'm not saying that he wasn't there at the time or anything else, or he didn't know about it, but he well knew about what was supposed to be taking place. So that's why I just stand my grounds and just did what I had to do.
Despite being silent about the occurrence when it transpired, officials from the Road Safety Department, who immediately handed over the ordeal to Minister Bean, said that they need to set the record straight. Deputy Director of Road Safety Lionel Barranco said that media houses have painted a different picture, one that perceived that their department acted unjust.
I mean, I'm going to make it real clear that we are not here to say go against the minister's decision on but the suspension of the cab drivers. I stand firmly on his decision because his decision is the last and final record decision, which they did in our appeal. But I'm just trying to make it clear is that the department is trying their best and will continue to do their best to go ahead and try to make sure that law is set out there for cab drivers, and it'll be safe for everybody who comes here to visit the Toss and Giggers.
Barranco told News 4 that the public seems unclear as to why the Road Safety Department suspended the drivers, and since the incident went public, they have been taking all the heat. Road safety officials said that because of the strike, tourists were without transport at the airport for up to 45 minutes, and tourists aren't the only ones allegedly disturbed by the protests. Taxi drivers that were not suspended are outraged at the minister for his action taken on the matter and have agreed to speak up about it in tomorrow's newscast.
Well, the taxi drivers who were in the parking lot at the time, who didn't take part and not going along with what you say so-called strike, they're real upset with the suspension being lifted to what it is. I'm not going to really call no names because they felt like they did nothing wrong. They took the guests, and they felt like the strike was completely and utterly ridiculous. And if they did what they did, then they just supposed to serve out their time.
However, previously suspended taxi driver Jerry Skippins described heads of the Road Safety Department as, quote, killers of his livelihood, and had this to say to our cameras.
But I will be pressing charges for the time wasted that I was unable to work, and for this suspension that I have never received a letter for. And I would like for Mr. Barranco and Mr. Garland to be aware of these charges that I'm going to press against them, because it is wrong to me.
For WIV4 News, I'm Nikira John.